Hello, friends. It's been 2 weeks since my ileostomy reversal surgery, the final stage of the J-pouch procedure, which is a cure for colitis, all forms of colitis. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about the procedure stuff because I talked about all that in the past videos. So you'll have to go back and watch them if you're curious, if you stumble upon this video first. So 2 weeks, it's been 2 weeks now. And like I said in the last video, the surgery was super easy. I got out in less than 3 days, like two and a half days of the hospital, I think. I didn't even need a catheter. I was only out for like a couple hours, out as in like sleeping under anesthesia. They didn't send me home with blood thinners or painkillers. Everything was good. No issues, really. When I got home, all normal issues, like fatigue. And I was using the bathroom often, which is super normal because now you have a new digestive system that you're working with. And I had my follow-up appointment yesterday, so I thought this would be the perfect time to make a video. So really the only big issue was that I was using the bathroom too much, which makes a lot of sense. So they gave me a form of like Imodium, which is it's like an anti-diarrheal medication, which I'm not really having a lot of diarrhea. It's just I'm using the bathroom often, so they want to slow that down. So that's what that kind of medication will do. It's not Imodium, but it's similar to Imodium. So I just got prescribed that, which is good. Take a couple of those a day. So I should start putting weight back on, which would be good. I weigh 163 pounds right now, which, funny enough, is the exact same weight that I weighed when I went into the first surgery, January. Just kind of, I mean, that means nothing, but it's kind of funny. So 163 now. Back when I was a young spry boy, I was just hoisting freakish amounts of weights in the gym, and some of my biggest lifts I hit when I was like 195. That was like senior year of high school, and I graduated high school around 220 because I played on the offensive line. So yeah, I'm like a whole new person. I've like adapted a whole new lifestyle. Everything's different. I've spent a lot of time acquiring new skills because I'm spending less time in the gym. But I still exercise every single day. I try not to have days off. That's just kind of my philosophy. But the training sessions are kind of a joke now compared to how they used to be, at least. Right now, because I'm only 2 weeks out of the surgery, they give you a lifting restriction. You can't lift. You shouldn't lift. They can't control you, but they say you shouldn't lift over 10 pounds for 6 to 8 weeks, I think it is. You shouldn't go back to work. All this like arbitrary cookie cutter nonsense. So I'll tell you the span of how I did everything this time. It's changed every surgery just depending on how I feel. Like I said, I have like 10 years of lifting experience under my belt, so I have a pretty good idea of when I'm too exhausted, too fatigued to handle certain things or sore or whatever. And I know what muscles are being stimulated and what exercises and blah, blah, blah. So this time around, let's see, get out of the surgery or get out of the hospital like a few days. I went right back to training, like that evening, I think that I got back, but the training was like forearms and grip, like I used, oh, let me show you actually. I used, I did some of these, with your with your wrists. I have little skinny girl wrists and forearms, so I work on these super like exercises that isolate muscles that suck on me, like my neck and my forearms. So I did that, and then I do some ice bucket. I've got this bucket right here. Got a ton of ice in it, or ice. It's got a ton of rice in it. Ice bucket. Rice bucket, I meant to say. So, stimulate the hands, the fingers, and the forearms. Super easy stuff. I can do it all seated. So I did that right away when I got out. I did that for maybe like 2 days, and then I went back to doing like super easy stuff in the gym. Like I'd do some loading pin exercises, also grip strength related. I'd do stuff like lunges, but I'd hold on to something because I'm afraid to stimulate my abs too quick and risk tearing a suture or giving myself a hernia or something like that. But by the following week, so after like 5 or so days, I was back to an actual training program, which is like mostly hypertrophy stuff, which I hate doing. I was always a strength athlete growing up, but it's just not in my cards right now, and it would be stupid. So I go back into my garage gym, and I'm doing like lateral raises and bicep curls and all exercises that isolate muscles and don't use my abs. I can finally see my abs because I don't have the bag, and wow, I mean, the atrophy is absurd. It looks like I have never trained my abs before. It sucks in a way because I look at some of the old photos that I have and I'm like, oh no, this is terrible. But at this point, I'm back to an actual training program that incorporates some compound lifts, just not the ones that require a lot of like intra-abdominal pressure and don't require a lot of like direct ab work. I'm not doing weighted sit-ups at all. I'm doing very like light banded crunches just to stimulate the abs, and I'm not doing any heavy squats. I'm not using a belt. I haven't used any sleeves in a really long time, just because I don't want to do something that I just overwhelm myself with and make a mistake and injure myself. But yeah, I'm back to an actual training program, and I don't tell my doctor that because, oh my God, they get so upset. But she heard I went back to work because I told her. I thought she'd be okay with it, but she threw a bit of a fit. She's like, I didn't give you permission to go back to work. I'm like, shut up. No, I didn't say that. But I wish I could. I wish I could have crashed out on her, but I didn't. I was like, yeah, but you understand how I am. She's like, yeah, I get it. Whatever. But she doesn't know that I'm also doing like high rep deadlifts and stuff like that and pull-ups, but I know my body, I get it. I've been training for a long time. So yeah, back in the gym, everything's going well. I might have a hernia, which is ironic because I just explained how I know my body, but I do have like a Charlie horse type feeling in the side of my abs. I told her about it at my follow-up, and she was like, she got in there with these pliers and she clipped the last dissolvable suture that she could see. She was going to try to pull it out, and she tried to pull it out, and it felt like it felt like all of my organs were getting pulled out of my body. So I didn't like that. And then she said, I'm just going to leave it. It'll dissolve, but maybe that'll take some tension off of that feeling that you have in your abs. I think it's a hernia. I don't feel anything, but it feels like how other people describe hernias. It's like a stiff Charlie horse right in my abs, and hernias aren't a big deal really, so it's fine. But yeah, she didn't really seem to care that much about that. She is a great surgeon. I'm kind of talking about her like she sucks, but she's great. She's been great. She did all the surgeries very well and took care of me. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now physically with everything. I went on my first run yesterday, long distance run. Oh my God, it was miserable. I made it down the street, and then I came back out of breath and like dying. I haven't ran or done any plyometrics in 6 months because of that's when the first surgery was about 6 months ago in November, and now it is mid-August after the last one. So that's something I want to get back into. I was always a big fan of rucking, just taking heavy loads far distances. Yeah, and I miss doing like sandbags and the yokes and all that fun stuff. That was always my favorite stuff to do. But soon I'll be back to doing that. She told me to, keep that 10-pound weight restriction for another 4 weeks. But just yesterday I did like hex bar deadlifts, like 4 sets of 10 with like 145, like something super light and controlled, and I paired that with banded crunches. Anyways, what else should we talk about? That big ass hole that I have from where the ileostomy used to be. It's healing well. Everything looks good there. Like I said in the last video, it heals from the inside out, so you have to keep a bandage on it while it like accumulates tissue until you have like a big disgusting scab there. But once that scab's there, I don't have to keep the bandage rolling. Maybe I'll input some progress photos at some point in this video, because it is kind of neat. Or maybe I'll make a separate video about that. It's kind of neat to look at how I've maintained some muscle, but like the general atrophy of just doing less relative to what I used to do in like late high school when I was playing a bunch of sports and I was training like 2 times a day and eating like a ridiculous amount of food. I mean, I look back at the photos and I'm like, I was jacked. But like during the time, I thought it wasn't enough. I'm so small. I'm looking at all these people on Instagram and I'm like, I'm so small. I need to take steroids or something. Not really, but yeah, I mean, I always was super critical, but now looking back at the photos, I'm like, holy cow, I was like kind of jacked for a junior and senior in high school, but whatever. Everything else was going well. The surgeon wants me to get my bowel movements down to 5 a day would be ideal. 5 normal bathroom trips a day. Right now, I'm at like 7 on a good day and like 15 on a bad day, which is super typical 2 weeks out of the surgery. It's like, some people don't recover super quick. Some people do. So far, I'm young and healthy and take care of myself, so I've been recovering super fast from all these surgeries. But the latest it takes, at least from what I hear, is like 6 months or so before your gut is super regulated and back to normal or whatever that may be without a large intestine. But yeah, it's only been 2 weeks and I'm doing pretty good. I'm improving every day. Yeah, well, I think that's all I got for my 2-week update. Maybe I'll make another one in a month about the J-pouch progress, but I'd like to keep making videos. In general, just talking to you guys. Sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to myself, but I'm sure somebody will stumble upon the video and be like, Caleb, you're pleasant. Please make another video about something, and then I'll make it, because I feel like I got some stuff to share. Yeah, so I'll leave you at that. Maybe I'll input some progress photos at some point. Maybe I'll do it right at the end. Maybe I'll do it in the middle. I don't know. I got a lot of good ones. Back when I was on the prednisone and the budesonide and I was force feeding myself to because I was so insecure about losing muscle, there was a time where I was like not sleeping, but I looked like super jacked, and my blood pressure was like, my systolic blood pressure was like 181 was the highest I ever saw it, and they're like, we have to do something about this. But I was getting so freaking jacked, it was crazy. But no longer. So maybe I'll input some of those photos, I don't know. All right, well, it was nice talking to you guys. See ya.